name is Mpho.
And I'm Mpho.
And you are watching Edbook News. We bring you positive news about young and inspiring individuals who are doing great things in our communities and all over the world.
Now, this evening we will be chatting with Mpho Nkwana. He was part of the South African team which won the overall competitions at the Pan African Mathematics Olympiads in Senegal. Now, he's a grade 12 learner at Clapham High at only 17 years old, and he resides in Soshanguve. Mpho, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Thank you for taking the time to speak to us right here on Edbook News. Now, Mpho, I've read some wonderful things about you, but first things first, I'm keen and interested. What inspired your great interest in the subject of mathematics?
Ever since I was young, I had a love for problem solving. So I found out that I could pursue problem solving through mathematics. And, from that day on, it just clicked, because I'm a person who is intrigued by problem solving, and any subject that involves problem solving, you are going to find me there. And I actually discovered that mathematics was just meant for me in a way.
Nice. So, a problem solver at heart. Now, you are definitely in the right place. Now, I remember reading in the article, you said you are inspired by your community, and that is why you felt obliged to participate in a field where you feel many young black people are underrepresented. I'm curious to know about the challenges that you face. What type of challenges did you face, and how did you overcome those challenges?
When I went to math camps and I was in some math teams, I would usually find myself as the only black person. So I would experience some racism there and there. But then it really, I knew that I was representing a whole race.
You persevered, you just went through, and for that, you are much of a bigger human being than most of us, and you are indeed an inspiration. I believe, Kauki, do you have something to share?
Of course. Mpho, let's talk a bit about Senegal. I gather it was your first time out of the country. What was it like?
It was a bit scary at first, because I'm leaving the country. I've never been outside of the country. So I was excited and I had fear at the same time, two emotions. But then I could say that it was really exciting. It was really exciting.
Nice. No, it sounds like you must have had a good time.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested in finding out. So you've been to Senegal. You've experienced the other diverse cultures that are out there, and I'm still curious to know, what is it that you have learned there? Being amongst a diverse group of people, meeting different cultures, different religions, different ways of thinking. So what is it that you have learned there?
An important factor that I think I really looked into when I was there was the math education that they have. After speaking to some of those students from the different countries, I actually realized that we are far behind in terms of our mathematics curriculum.
Wow.
And they do things that are really way more advanced than what we do in South Africa. So I think that's the most important lesson I learned there, apart from how they do things and how they think and all of those things.
So how do you think we can improve that?
Good question.
So I really believe that if achievements do not benefit the whole society or the whole nation, then they are really just a futile exercise. So what I'm saying here is that, hey, I've achieved this, and the South African team has achieved this.
Yeah.
We know that we are really the top guys in Africa. We know that South Africa has got the best math students, but it's got the worst math education. So what we can do from this is that we can, gather up different learners and different individuals in the education department, and really just redefine and reimagine our strategies and how we want to do maths in South Africa, because I do believe that we have got the potential to become the best maths country in Africa.
Okay. So now, Mpho, I see that you're a maths enthusiast. Like you eat maths, you sleep maths, you breathe maths.
Yes.
And I'm curious to know, since well you are the #1 fan of the ultimate science subjects, what can you say about the differences between, or are the differences and similarities of mathematics education between South Africa and Senegal? Are there any specifics that you have witnessed?
Yes, I did note a few. Okay, so what happened was there was a moment when I showed the guys over there, these other guys, my roommate from Senegal, South African metric question paper, and he actually laughed at it because he said that what was on the paper, they did in like grade 8 and 9.
Wow.
So it really just showed that, okay, we are far behind in our maths education. That's what I saw.
Friends at home watching Edbook News, I hope that you have picked up on this and that you've learned a thing or two.
Yes.
Wow. Just a quick question before we let you go, Mpho. What is it that you want to study after you finish school? You want to do engineering perhaps?
I want to study a Bachelor of Business Science degree in actuarial science, and then I want to pursue other fields such as entrepreneurship. But I'll see when I get there. I'm currently planning it all out. So I believe that I will prevail in what I'm doing if I plan well and I stick to my plan.
Wow. Mphoza, like seriously, for a 17-year-old, you are one of the youngest, most wisest person I've ever come across.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us this evening, and we wish you all the best. I mean, to think about all the great things that you've done, despite all the challenges that you have faced, you truly inspired a lot of young people. Despite all the racism and all that, you came out on top. Despite our country having the worst maths education, you went abroad and you still came out on top. And for that, we salute you. We salute you. Congratulations once again to you and your teammates, and all the best with your examinations. And on top of that, we'd like to actually extend a warm thanks to the South African Mathematics Foundation for initiatives such as these that introduce young people like Mpho to Maths Olympiads and train them how to problem solve. I mean, mathematics is all about problem solving.
Yeah.
You even heard him while he was speaking. He spoke about his passion for problem solving. And when you have a generation of young people who are capable thinkers, who are problem solvers, then we are actually heading in the right direction.
Indeed. Yes, coming up next is Science in 60 Seconds.
Don't touch that dial. And we are back, and as promised during this last segment, what we have is Science in 60 Seconds. Lebo, you ready?
Absolutely, are you?
I am. Let's go!
It is believed that ancient Egyptians used complex mathematics such as algebra, arithmetic, and geometry as far back as 3000 BC.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, what comes after a million, a billion, and a trillion? Well, a quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, septillion, octillion, and nonillion. Whoa.
An icosagon is a shape with 20 sides.
I really didn't know that. Now, trigonometry is the study of the relationship between the angles of triangles and their sides.
The name of popular search engine Google came from the misspelling of the word Google, spelled G-O-O-G-O-L, which is a very large number, the number 1 followed by 100 zeros to be exact.
Wow. And you know that a Googleplex, oh, well, time's up. But unfortunately, I think I'll add this just for interest's sake. A Googleplex is actually the number 10 to the power 10 to the power of 100. Because remember, they tell you that a Google is the number 10 to the power 100. Now a Googleplex is the number 10 to the power 10 to the power 100. So that's a huge number. It's so long that if you were to write it down manually, it will take a longer time, much longer than the age of the universe. That's how large the number is. But again, that's maths. There's no ending to numbers. Numbers are infinite. We keep going. That has been all from us, myself, Sebelo Moepi.
And Lobacham Mahori.
Join us next time, same same place. Have a good evening.